Welcome back to Hawks Digest, everybody. Man, whoo, boy, it must be the off season because the rumors are escalating, the rumors are swirling. And today I got a report from you guys, a hypothetical trade rumor that is surrounding one of our rising stars at the Atlanta Hawks and a superstar that you guys may be knowing. But first and foremost, man, take off your shoes, leave on your socks, man. Let's get into this Hawks rumor right freaking now. Thank you guys to everybody who is a part of a Hawks Digest first and foremost as well too. And hey, if this is your first time, welcome. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe and become a part of the Hawks Digest family. And if you've been here before but yet not still subscribed, I promise you, man, it'll be in your best interest to subscribe to Hawks Digest. Now, like I said, let's get into the rumor that are swirling. The rumors that are swirling around Giannis Antetokounmpo. And there's a trade rumor that I'm about to convey for you guys that's surrounding our rising star Jalen Johnson. Now, Jalen Johnson, before he went down with injury, he was averaging 19 and 10, and he was a rising star, almost all-star caliber, is what I believe and what other people believe around the league. He was on his way, but injuries derailed that. He only played about 36 games, and unfortunately, that was just something that I honestly hurt the Hawks season tremendously. Let's just keep it real about that. But also, Giannis Antetokounmpo, even though he's been a little quiet, even though he hasn't said anything, again, Giannis Antetokounmpo hasn't said anything about wanting to be traded from the Milwaukee Bucks, the organization where he's had an MVP, where he's had Defensive Player of the Year, where he helped bring a championship and end a 50-year drought. As far as to have one of the best finals appearances of all time, seriously, coming off of that injury that happened against the Atlanta Hawks, you know, when Trae Young got hurt as well in the Eastern Conference Finals. But it's like, so why would he leave the Milwaukee Bucks? Well, at the end of the day, Milwaukee right now is down 2 games to 1 now. They were down 2 games to 0, but 2 games to 1 to the Indiana Pacers. Who knows where that series will go? Dame Lillard is back, but who knows where that series will go? And honestly, I don't know if Giannis wants to continue to stay with a team that continues to get eliminated in the first round the past few years, no matter what they do, it seems. So here is the trade rumor. It is a three-team trade surrounding the Hawks, the Bucks, and also the Utah Jazz. And I'm gonna put it on the big screen for y'all guys. I ain't use a big screen in a minute. And what it is saying to us here is the Atlanta Hawks. Well, first, let me start from the bottom. The Utah Jazz would get Terrence Mann. They will also get a few second round picks, including a 2025 and a 2026 second round pick, 2031 as well. All these picks are coming from Milwaukee, going to Utah. Of course, the Hawks would be giving up Terrence Mann, a guy who is under contract for the next few years. So that would be how that money would work as far as the contract goes. I'm going to go to Milwaukee next. Milwaukee would get Jalen Johnson, somebody who would be returning to Wisconsin, his birthplace. They will also be getting Colin Sexton. They will be getting Kobe Buffkin. They also will be getting a 2027 first round pick, at least favorable. When it comes to the Pelicans in Milwaukee, they will also get the 2029 first round pick. Back when we can own our picks again, we'll be giving it up, giving it up to Milwaukee. They also 2030 will be doing a first round pick swap. So the pick swap rights go to Milwaukee. 2031 first round pick per top 10 protected, similar to how the Kings pick that we have right now is top 12 protected, but it doesn't, as long as it doesn't land in the top 4, Milwaukee would get that pick as well. What do the Hawks get? The Hawks would get Giannis Antetokounmpo. They would get AJ Green, who is a shooter for them, and honestly, he probably would take over the Garrison Matthews role for the Atlanta Hawks. And then also, I don't want to ever mess his name up. I always mess this guy's name up, so I'm gonna always call him Savi. You know what I'm saying? So they would get these three players in return. Now, Giannis, that is your main course. But those other two players, they would just be not even heavy rotational pieces, I think, but they would just be like guys who can be kind of complementary. Both can shoot the three. Uh, so it just like that would be what you're looking for in return for Quin Snyder is guys who can at least shoot the three because you're not gonna worry about Giannis shooting the three. So that's one thing when that in that regard. But guys, before I get into how I feel about it, let me know how you feel in the comments. Would you trade Jalen Johnson and etc. as far as the draft capital goes for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts. Because I mean, you look at that trade, and I'll bring it back up here. You look at this trade, and you like, all right. So the Hawks are giving up a lot of their picks. When are they going to be able to draft again? When are they going to be able to possibly use their picks to possibly get other guys? The one thing I will say about this trade, the only player that you give up is Terrence Mann, and you add three players by and also you do give up some first rounders. You do that. You're not going to be drafting honestly again until after 2031, depending on what happens. I mean, as far as like a high draft pick. And who knows where the pick swap will land, who knows where the 2027 will land, et cetera, et cetera. But you do get aggressive. You do bring in a guy who is definitely a bona fide superstar without question and put him next to Trae Young. Some people would say, well, Giannis is 30, about to be 31. I mean, I don't understand what would be the problem with that. At the end of the day, that sounds like more veteran leadership. Somebody that's would bring championship pedigree here because he's won already, and somebody that the Hawks worked out back in 2014, I believe, back when he was drafted. And this would kind of be like righting the ship. But again, you are not drafting at all. You're not even going to be able to make any more moves as far as like maybe to try to get like little pieces here and there. The guys who you have will be the guys on the team. So you would have a lot of guys that played this season on the team. The George Niangs, Terrence Mann would be gone, yes, but you still bring in AJ. You still bring in AJ. You still bring in Savi. You of course you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, a bona fide superstar next to Trae Young. Now, even though I still would say, I'm going to say, if this was to become non-hypothetical and this was a real thing, Giannis wanted out, I would say Atlanta, you got to at least pick up the phone to call to see just what it would take. I'm pretty sure Jalen Johnson is involved. We know that, but what else would it take to get a Giannis next to a Trae? Can you imagine the pick and roll between Giannis and Trae? Can you imagine Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Zaccharie Risacher, Giannis, and Double O on the floor? Woo woo! But I ain't gonna lie to you, that right there is a lineup from heck. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if how many offenses would want to see that on defense, or how many defenses want to see that on offense. To be honest with you, because Giannis is going to play defense, he's going to play hard. Double O, he's going to give effort. He's going to play hard. Zaccharie Risacher is growing. Dyson Daniels is growing. Trae Young is becoming a better leader. So, come on now. That right there would be something else. But let me flip on the other side real quickly before I get up out of here. On the flip side of things, you outside the draft capital, you're giving up a lot of draft capital. You won't be able to make any kind of moves outside of this move, as far as if you needed to trade any draft capital for any other players or just want to draft you any kind of player at all to help improve the team. That would be dead. Okay? So know that. Not so, okay, if you're cool with that, no problem. I understand. But Jalen Johnson, before he went down, I know it's not 30 and 11, but he still was averaging 19 and 10. He still was on the rise. He still was possibly candidate for most improved because his points, assists, and rebounds all went up some. So he definitely could have been a candidate for that as well, along with Dyson Daniels. Also, I believe that the Hawks have a foundation that they're building, and it's decisions that you make today that can affect your future later. Landry Fields is not here because of certain decisions that was made. Not all his fault, but still his name was part attached to things. And you look at it now, Anzi Sala, he does have experience as far as salary cap, team building, roster building. We're still looking for a basketball president, but would he make a move like that? Would he look into it? I think you always look into anything that evolves around a superstar, especially like Giannis. You at least got to pick up the phone. The Hawks did pick up the phone late when it came to Kevin Durant. They did pick up the phone and try to see how much would it cost to get Kevin Durant to Atlanta at the trade deadline. So them calling about Giannis if he becomes available wouldn't be far fetched, and I think it would be a cool move. It's just the foundation that we're building. Do you want to try to skip steps and try to see if you can just leapfrog your way into a top spot by trading for Giannis, or should you just go ahead, trust the process that you've been doing with development, from developing within with our young players, something you did do with JJ and he did benefit, and you just stay the course and you just try to get veterans to come and be a part of what we're going to do and become a better team like that, and still have young pieces that are developing and become better. Because that is only, and I'll bring it up once more, this is only preliminary. This is only hypothetical. Milwaukee could want more from you. Milwaukee could want Jalen Johnson, Zaccharie Risacher, and Dyson Daniels and say, here you go, you can have Giannis. And respectfully, I love Giannis, but that would make no sense because you would have Trae and Giannis, and what else? So it would still kind of defeat the purpose of what you were trying to do. But guys, please, I don't want to go on and rambling. I just want your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about the possibility, if things go wrong in this first round and the Milwaukee Bucks are eliminated and Giannis wants out, would you make the call? Would you trade Jalen Johnson and etc. for Giannis? Or would you stay the course? Would you trust the development and just improve the team in other small ways and continue to move forward from there? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Until next time, peace and blessings to you all, and to you all, I will holler.